Let's have a look at, go back to 5C and have a look at question 4. Okay, so number 4, events G and H are such that P, the probability of G is 0.3 and the probability of H is 0.6. Find the probability of G union H when G and H are mutually exclusive. Okay, for number A, when the probability of G union H in a situation where G and H are mutually exclusive, it means there's no intersection. So the union would just be the probability of G plus the probability of H. And that would be 0.3 plus 0.6. That equals 0.9. Okay. For number B, find the probability of G union H when G and H are independent. Well, if they're independent, there is an intersection here, and the intersection is the probability of G times the probability of H when they're independent. Okay, so what we need to do is find the probability of G union H. Okay, and we can do that using this formula here. Probability of G union H equals the probability of G plus the probability of H minus the probability of G intersection H. Okay. Now, the probability of G, be careful here, I'm putting the intersection now. Intersection of H for independent events is the probability of G times the probability of H. And that equals 0.3 times 0.6, which equals 0.18. Now we can just add that to this formula here. We now know that term, and so we can find that. Probability of G union H equals the probability of G, which is 0.3, plus the probability of H, which is 0.6, minus 0.18. And that equals 0.9 minus 0.18, and that equals 0.72. Now let's have a look at C. C, given that P of the probability of G union H is 0.63, find the probability of H given G. Well, the probability of H given G is equal to the probability of H intersection G divided by the probability of G. Okay. Now, if they told us that the union, they told us up here that the union is 0.63. Well, if that's the case, we can construct, we'll just use the formula. And we know again that the probability of G union H equals the probability of G plus the probability of H minus the probability of G intersection H. Now, they told us in the question that the probability of union is 0.63. So I'll put that in here, 0.63. We know the probability of G is 0.3. The probability of H is 0.6 minus the probability of G intersection H. Therefore, probability of G intersection H equals 0.3 plus 0.6 minus 0.63. That's 0.9 minus 0.63, which is 0.27. Okay. Now we go back over here. and we fill this in, and we've got to find that. So we can just put all that in here now. We know that the top is 0.27. The bottom is PG is 0.3. And we do that sum, we get 0.9.